Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. As we'll see Lamar Jackson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints.
Now we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from Tampa. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their new quarterback, first-year signal caller out of South Carolina.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing on 1st and 10, Rattler. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Here's Rattler. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So 8 yards on the completion there, and now 3rd down and 6 to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball out to punt for New Orleans. Back deep, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Fielded at about the 28, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, at Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Wide open receiver, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Jackson. A solid stiff arm. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. First down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. From the gun, Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
Throwing is Jackson. Open man right side is St. Brown. And the Buccaneers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So first and goal now from the 7-yard line. Now Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Jackson now. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And not a good time for the sack on second and goal, a loss of 6, and now it's third down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Two straight sacks have them backed up now for a third and goal. Here's the first carry for Sean Tucker. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now Rattler. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
To the air is Rattler. Looking left sideline, it's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Rattler now to throw on 1st and 10. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
First down, here's Rattler. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. And Rattler, he'll throw again. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rattler. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Rattler. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rattler wants to throw it. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3. Maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Jackson slings this deep from McLaurin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. It could be first touchdown wins. On the return is Sean Tucker. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So this game tied at the half, and if you wondered who would come up with the first big play of this third quarter, we have our answer.
Well, in basketball, you know how they tell you to have active hands defensively? I think the same thing applies here. Nice job there prying the ball free. And now their guys have a chance to take the lead if they can put something together. The beauty of doing it in football, you don't get called for a foul if you hit their arms.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. From the 21, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Throwing is Rattler. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Nick Benito coming in there to record the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Rattler working out of the gun. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On third down, Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. They'll go play action here with Rattler. Johnson's got it complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
As to you said big third down, I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Returnable here for St. Brown. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Jackson.
And he can't get a throw off. He he's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Throwing, Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson. He's got McLaurin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Jackson. That's complete to Chase. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Jackson to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Here's 2nd down. Now Jackson. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
Now Jackson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffer the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.